The Ungrateful Crocodile. One summer, a crocodile tried to find a new pond because the pond he used to live in had dried up. After a while, the crocodile met an old man who was driving an ox cart. The crocodile asked the old man for a ride to find a pond. The old man pitied the crocodile, so he agreed to help. Afraid that he could fall, the crocodile asked the old man to tie him to the cart. The old man did as told. Arriving at a big pond, the old man untied the rope to let the crocodile into the pond. The crocodile was ungrateful and wanted to eat the old man's cows. The crocodile said, "You tied me up so tight that it hurts me, so you have to give me your cows." "You told me to tie you to the cart because you were afraid you could fall, and now you're accusing me of hurting you?" The old man refused and explained. "Don't argue with me. I will eat your cows," the crocodile replied. Feeling unfair and scared, the old man went to ask for help from the wise rabbit. Understood the whole story, the rabbit agreed to help. When the rabbit met the crocodile, he said, "In order to find out who is right and who's wrong, please let the old man tie you up again." The crocodile crawled up to the cart and let the old man tie him up again. "Tighter!" the crocodile shouted. The crocodile ordered the old man to tie him up so tight that he could not move. Seeing that the crocodile could not move, the rabbit told the old man, "You should not care about this ungrateful crocodile. Just leave it here under the sun." The old man agreed with the rabbit's advice and returned to his home peacefully. What goes around comes around. Be grateful to those who help us by doing good in return, the wise rabbit advised the crocodile, and then returned to his home. The end. Bird King. Once upon a time, all birds gathered to choose a bird king to lead them. Among them were two birds who wanted to be king. They were Crow and Owl, who had a majority of supporters. Eager to win, the two birds started to speak ill of each other. The Crow said, "That owl has big eyes and is a vicious animal. He should not be king." While the owl told the other birds that crow not only has black skin, but also black bones and black mind. He is a thief and cannot be king. The fight between the owl and the crow made it hard for majority of the birds to choose one, so they decided to choose another candidate, the phoenix, to be king instead. As the king now, the phoenix advised the crow and the owl that fighting and speaking ill of each other does not bring any good other than losing, and it gives others to grab the opportunity. Despising of each other, the crow and the owl divided time to make their living. Crow only goes out at daytime, while owl goes out at nighttime. The end. Fox and Turtle. Once upon a time, there were a fox and a turtle living near a river. Feeling bored, the fox asked the turtle to compete in jumping across the river. "You can't win because you have short legs," the fox teased the turtle. "Don't look down on me. I'm better in jumping than you," the turtle replied. Believing that he would win, the fox promised to find one-legged animal as food for Turtle, and if the turtle lost, he has to find two-legged animal for him. During the competition, the turtle stood behind the fox and bit the fox's tail. The fox hurt and shook his tail, throwing the turtle across the river, while he himself fell into the river. With his intelligence, the turtle could win the fox easily. After losing, the fox could not find one-legged animal, so he ran away from the turtle. He ran into the forest and never came back to the village. The turtle chased after the fox and shouted to him, "Don't ever look down on small animals like me just because you're big. My legs might be short, but my intelligence is pretty good." The end. One crow, 10 crows. There once lived a poor farming family. The husband of the family, named Sophie, came back home one day and whispered to his wife, "I have a strange story to tell, but you must keep it a secret." "What is it? Please tell me, and I won't tell anyone else," replied his wife. "While I was working, I sneezed," said the husband. "Then a crow flew out of my nose." "Whoa, that's strange," his wife shocked. "But don't worry, I'll keep my mouth shut." The husband said, "Thanks, dear. If people know about this, they will surely gossip about me." However, his wife failed to keep the promise. The next day she told her neighbor what her husband had told her. The neighbor then told the next person 10 crows flew out of Sophie's nose when he sneezed. Word of the incident spread quickly to the king. Wondering about what had happened, the king gave the order to summon Sophie. "That was not true," confessed Sophie to the king. "The truth is that I found a box of treasures while I was working, and I wanted to know if my wife could keep a secret." "Well, if that's the truth," the king replied, "it's fine. You can go back home and keep the treasure you found." Sophie bid the king goodbye. "One crow became 10 crows," said the king to his officials. "Before believing something, it's better to find out the source. Do not believe blindly." The end. Tiger, Monkey, and Rabbit. There once was a tiger that could not find any prey. One day, he saw a fish eagle hiding on a tree and then jump into the water to catch the fish easily. The tiger imitated the fish eagle. He hid on a tree, and when a fish swam past, he jumped into the water to catch the fish, but was almost drowned in the pond. Meanwhile, a man saw everything. Feeling embarrassed, the tiger begged the man not to tell anyone and promised to catch a prey for him every day. So the man got an animal as food every day. Then one day, his wife wondered and asked how he got all these animals every day. The man forgot his promise with the tiger and told her everything. The tiger eavesdropped on him and knew. The next day, when he met the man, he threatened to eat the man because he had broken the promise. The man agreed to being eaten, but begged for time to go back to say goodbye to his wife. The tiger agreed and warned him, "Return quickly, or I'll eat your wife too." After the farewell, the man returned to meet the tiger. Walking and crying on his way back, he met a wise rabbit and told the rabbit everything. The wise rabbit was willing to help and ordered the man to get him some bananas. Then he went with the man to a nearby hill, which they could see everything downhill clearly. After a while, the tiger came looking for the man. The rabbit, seeing the tiger, put a banana into his mouth and shouted, "5 tigers are not enough for my stomach." Hearing this, the tiger got very nervous and ran away. The tiger met a monkey while running. The monkey asked him, "What happened?" "I'm not sure what kind of vicious animal said he ate 5 tigers and not enough yet," the tiger replied. "You might have gotten tricked by the rabbit because he lives there," the monkey told the tiger. The monkey asked the tiger to go back and check together. He tied his tail to the tiger's to make sure he wouldn't run away. Seeing the tiger and the monkey coming, the rabbit shouted from afar, "Hey monkey, you bring a tiger for me to pay your debt?" The tiger thought he got tricked by the monkey, so he ran away again quickly, dragging the monkey with him. The man felt relieved, knowing he's safe now. He thanked the rabbit and said, "It was also part of my fault that I didn't keep my promise with the tiger, because my mouth had no lock. I will never do it again." The end.
Golden Peacock. Once upon a time, there was a king who raised a golden peacock and a dog. The king loved the peacock more than anything. One day, the peacock left the cage to the jungle and met a hunter. Seeing the peacock, the hunter aimed his arrow at the peacock. The dog suddenly bit the hunter, and the peacock was scared and ran away. The king could not find the golden peacock and accused the dog of secretly eating the peacock because he saw blood on the dog's mouth. The king ordered his servant to get rid of the dog. The servant felt sorry for the dog, so he begged the king to order his men to find the peacock once again. After a while, a soldier found the golden peacock and caught the hunter. The king understood that never judge things without knowing the whole story, or you may make the wrong decision.
The end. Raven and Caterpillar. Once upon a time, there was a raven looking for food. Then he spotted a caterpillar who was eating leaves. He flew toward the caterpillar and thought to himself that it's going to be a good meal today. Seeing the raven approaching, the caterpillar became so worried as he knew that the raven is a cruel animal. The caterpillar then asked the raven, "Mr. Raven, what are you looking for?" The raven replied, "I'm here to eat you." The caterpillar said to the raven, "If you want to eat me, you must answer my 4 riddles first." The raven agreed, "Sure, go ahead." The caterpillar replied, "The 4 riddles are: 1. What is sweetest among all? 2. What is the sourest among all? 3. What is the smelliest among all? 4. What is the most fragrant among all?" The raven felt happy thinking that the riddles were too easy. He was sure he would get to eat the caterpillar. The raven thought of the answers and replied, 1. The sweetest among all are sugar and honey. 2. The sourest among all are lime, tamarind, and vinegar. 3. The smelliest among all are the corpses of animals. 4. The most fragrant among all are flowers and perfume. After hearing the answers, the caterpillar said, "Those answers are all incorrect." The raven was disappointed. "Then tell me what the correct answers are," asked the raven. The caterpillar replied, "I will only tell you the answers if you promise not to eat me." The raven accepted the request. Once they agreed on that, the caterpillar told the raven the answers. 1. The sweetest among all is our words. It's how we communicate with one another with respect and hospitality. 2. The sourest among all is our mean comments, our inconsiderate words that belittle and disrespect others. 3. The smelliest among all is our bad reputation, which is due to our terrible actions and bad behavior toward those who are weaker than us. 4. The most fragrant among all is our good reputation, which is due to our good deeds, generosity, and cares toward others. As far as I know, you are the most fragrant among all, the caterpillar added. That is true, the raven agreed. The caterpillar said, "We should do good things and avoid harming others." The raven nodded in agreement and told the caterpillar, "True, you can go home now and be safe." The end. Snails and Rabbit. A long time ago, there was a rabbit wandering for water. After a while, the rabbit found a pond and was about to drink the water there, but suddenly a snail shouted to stop the rabbit. The rabbit then asked, "Why do you stop me from drinking the water here?" The snail answered, "This is my pond, so no one can drink it without my permission." The rabbit was shocked and replied, "What? That's ridiculous. Anyone can drink water from any pond." Thinking he runs faster than the snail, the rabbit asked the snail to compete in a race. "If I win, I will drink water from this pond," the rabbit proposed. The snail agreed. There were many snails in the pond. They discussed and said, "We need to line up one after another, and as the rabbit calls for us, the one at the front just reply at the front." When the race started, the rabbit ran full speed and called out, "Hey, Mr. Snail!" The snail at the front responded, "At the front." Seeing that the snail is ahead, the rabbit ran even faster and called out for the snail again. The leading snail then replied, "At the front." No matter how fast the rabbit ran, the snail still got ahead. Getting tired, the rabbit then accepted defeat. From that time on, the rabbit just takes dew when it gets thirsty. All snails celebrated the victory and said, "Unity can pass all challenges." The end. Eagle and Crocodile. Once upon a time, there were an eagle and a crocodile who were residing on an island. Every day, the eagle tended to catch wild boar for food and kept them in front of the crocodile's cave. This made the crocodile envious. He thought, "One day, I will eat the eagle's food." Then one day, the eagle brought his food to the front of the cave as usual. The crocodile then crawled out of the cave and shouted, "How dare you eat my food?" The eagle answered, "This wild boar is mine. I just caught it a while ago. What makes you think I stole your food?" The crocodile thought to himself, "Nobody else knows that this wild boar belongs to the eagle." The crocodile then asked the eagle to go to hermit for justice. Once they met the hermit, the crocodile begged, "Dear hermit, please find me justice. While I was eating my wild boar, this eagle suddenly came and stole my food." The eagle denied, "What this crocodile just said is not true. This wild boar was caught by me." The hermit then went to the crocodile's cave where the dispute happened. He found out that on the wild boar, only marks of the eagle's claws were found. He couldn't find any marks of the crocodile's teeth. The hermit then told the crocodile, "This wild boar belongs to eagle. It's not yours." The crocodile didn't expect hermit to find the truth and felt ashamed. The hermit then advised the crocodile, "Don't wish to obtain the fruits others have planted. You should work hard and harvest your own fruits." The end. Kong Heen. Once upon a time, there was a coward man named Kong, and he had 2 wives, Arm and Calm. One day, while walking in a forest to visit their mother-in-law, they encountered a big tiger. Kong was so scared that he hid behind a tree while his wives teamed up to beat the tiger unconscious. Kong then carried the unconscious tiger to the village with his wives. The villagers admired him for capturing the tiger. They started calling him Kong Heen, Kong the Brave. The king got wind of Kong's nickname. The king then ordered Kong Heen to lead an army to fight with an invader. Kong Heen was scared and asked to bring his 2 wives along. Facing with the enemy, Arm and Calm hit the elephant that their husband was on so hard that it ran and crushed all enemies. The king was so happy and awarded Kong Heen medals. Later on, the king sent Kong Heen to catch a brutal crocodile in a river. With no other choices, Kong Heen decided to jump into the river and let the crocodile eat him. When Kong Heen saw the crocodile, he jumped into the river hopelessly, but his jump startled the crocodile instead. It tried to swim away and got trapped between the trees. Given this opportunity, Kong Heen caught the crocodile and brought it to the king. When they got back home, he told his wives that behind every successful man is a woman, and in my case, 2 women. The end. Crocodile and Rabbit. Once upon a time, there was a rabbit who wanted to cross a lake. Then, he saw a crocodile and asked, "Mr. Crocodile, what happened to your back?" "I have skin disease," the crocodile replied. The rabbit told the crocodile, "If you bring me to the other side of the lake, I will cure your skin disease." The crocodile agreed. Once the rabbit got to the other side, he mocked the crocodile. "No one can cure your skin disease. Crocodiles are born with rough and tough skin like that. The crocodile was so mad knowing that he had been fooled by the rabbit. So, when the rabbit got back to the lake, he pretended to be a floated log. The rabbit knew immediately that the log was the crocodile. He said, "If you're a log, float against the water current. If you're a crocodile, float with water current." The crocodile then floated against the water current. The rabbit then shouted, "I won't be fooled by you, crocodile." One day, the crocodile pretended to be dead on the bank in order to fool the rabbit. The rabbit then walked into the crocodile's mouth. While touching one of the crocodile's teeth, he said, "This giant tooth can be used as a sword, while these small ones can be used as knives." While the rabbit was talking, the crocodile swallowed the rabbit into his stomach. The rabbit said, "Ah, I've been wanting to eat some barbecue intestines." The rabbit then picked his fingernails. The crocodile heard and got scared and begged the rabbit to come out from his stomach. The rabbit told the crocodile, "Open your mouth then." The crocodile opened his mouth. Then the rabbit rushed out and accidentally hit a tree hard and became unconscious. The crocodile saw that and happily said, "Don't fool others for your benefit. Now this serves you right, rabbit." The end. Rabbit wants to eat bananas. Once upon a time, there was a tricky rabbit who moved to live in a village. One day, the rabbit saw an old granny who was carrying bananas on her head. The rabbit thought to himself, "Now I am so tired. What should I do to have the bananas?" He then pretended to be dead in the middle of the road. The granny saw the dead rabbit, picked it up, and put it into the basket with bananas. The granny was so happy, thinking she'd get to eat a rabbit sour soup today. As for the rabbit, after being placed in the basket, he started eating the tasty bananas. Once he finished all the bananas, he jumped off and ran back into the forest. When the granny arrived home and placed the basket on the floor, all she saw were banana skins, while the rabbit was nowhere to be found. It was only then that she knew that she was tricked by the rabbit. The granny thought to herself, "There is no free lunch in life. Now I lost both the rabbit and bananas." The end. Home buffalo and wild buffalo. Once upon a time, there were two buffaloes who adored one another like brothers. They even shared food together. There was a tricky rabbit who was envious of the good relationship between the two buffaloes. He planned to break them apart. One day, while the two buffaloes were looking for food, he told them, "The two of you should stop living and eating together like this. If the villagers found you together, they would capture you guys for labor." The two buffaloes believed the rabbit. Terrified that they would be captured, they stopped living together. They lost contact and soon forgot about one another. Once the rabbit learned that the two buffaloes had forgotten about one another, he started to cause a dispute between the two. He told one of the buffaloes, "I heard that there is a very powerful buffalo who wants to challenge you." The buffalo was so angry. He said, "In this world, I am the most powerful buffalo. Bring my words to that buffalo to come and challenge me." The rabbit then went to the other buffalo and told him, "There is a buffalo who keeps bragging that he is the most powerful of all, and he wants to challenge you." After tricking the buffalo into believing it, the rabbit jumped onto the back of the buffalo and led the way. Once the two buffaloes met, without any words, they started to attack one another fiercely. After days of battling without a clear winner, the two became exhausted. One of them then ran to the forest, while another stayed in the local area. Believing others' words without a careful consideration can lead to unnecessary dispute. The end. Domestic crow teaches wild crow. Since long ago, domestic crows were hated by the villagers because they tended to steal food from people. One day, while flying around to find food, a domestic crow came across a wild crow. The domestic crow asked the wild crow, "These days, how do you find food?" The wild crow replied, "I find food with my own ability. I don't steal food from others." The domestic crow told the wild crow, "At this rate, you won't be able to find enough food. If you follow me, you will find good food easily." The wild crow asked, "How do you find food?" The domestic crow answered, "When the villagers dry their fish, I carefully flew over and stole the food." The wild crow replied, "But there's a saying for that. If you steal and fail, you are bound to be in danger." The domestic crow said, "If you want to know for sure, why don't you follow me for once?" The two crows then flew to the village. They saw an old man left his rice and fish on his cart. The domestic crow told the wild crow, "I will distract the man by stealing the scarf from his head. You then go ahead and steal the food." The domestic crow then flew over and snatched the scarf. The old man followed. Meanwhile, the wild crow easily stole the food and flew to one of the tree branches. The old man got back his scarf but lost his food. He was so furious. From that time on, wild crows started to steal food as well. The villagers then hated both the domestic crows and the wild crows. Surround yourself with good friends, because good friends bring good influences, while bad friends will only cause you troubles. The end. The White Mouse King. Once upon a time, there was a married couple. One day, as the man went farming, he encountered a banyan tree and tried to chop it down. In the banyan tree lived the White Mouse King and his servants. Knowing that, the White Mouse King was terrified. He begged the man, "If you agree not to chop down this tree, I will reward you with a piece of gold every day." The man agreed. Every day, the White Mouse King would bring the man a piece of gold. The man would then give the gold to his wife for safekeeping. With curiosity, the wife asked, "Where did you get the gold?" The man answered, "Just keep it. You don't have to know the details." His wife argued, "If you don't tell me, I will report to the authority that you stole this gold." The man then agreed, and he told his wife how he got the gold from the White Mouse King. Once learnt the whole story, the wife told her husband, "You are such a fool. If you chop down that tree, you will find much more gold." The man believed his wife. The next morning, the married couple chopped down the banyan tree, but no gold was found. That night, the White Mouse King and his servants went to the couple's house and took back all the gold that were given to them. The next morning, the man regretted, "We shouldn't have been too greedy. Now, look at us. We lost all the gold. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush." The end. Monkey and Turtle. Once upon a time, there were a monkey and a turtle who had pledged to be best friends. They loved each other dearly. Not long after, the monkey had to host a wedding ceremony for his daughter. He called all his fellow monkeys to decide on the good date for the ceremony. As the ceremony date approached, the monkey sent his servants to invite his best friend, the turtle. On the wedding day, the turtle came as invited, yet he couldn't climb up the tree to the ceremony as other monkeys. Other guests then informed the monkey, "Your best friend, the turtle, is here, but he is on the ground." The monkey then told the turtle, "My friend, you won't be able to climb up the tree on your own. Therefore, you will have to bite this vine and I will pull you up. And remember, you must not talk, okay?" The turtle agreed. He bit the vine as the monkey's crews pull him up. Almost reached the top, the turtle saw the monkey's wife. He greeted, "Hello, my friend. How are you?" As he opened his mouth to speak, he lost the vine from his mouth. He fell to the ground and became unconscious. Other monkeys saw what happened. They hurried to rescue the turtle. The monkey commented, "My dear turtle, I have warned you already not to speak. Negligence to advice can lead to danger." The end.